I was wondering what she was talking about.
What did you do at recess?
For everybody.
I had a science test too.
Did you? I was diagnosed with Stargardt's about 8 years ago. One of my biggest fears at that point was that I had 2 small children, and I was very, very afraid that I wouldn't be able to see my children grow up, and they were just babies. So I didn't want to miss out on that. At the same time, I didn't want to miss out on my career.
Our initial response was pretty drastic, as anybody's would. I mean, we're pretty devastated. At this point, there are no known treatments for Stargardt's. It's been a struggle. We've gone through a lot, you know? It's really hard for somebody who doesn't have an eye disease to understand what's going on.
I have a blind spot that's in the shape of a ring in both eyes, and it has little blinky lights in it. So there are little flashes inside of a white ring that I'm looking through constantly. The best way to describe it is like when you're driving through a snowstorm.
One night we were talking about it, and I said, I need to know how you view things. And I said, these safety glasses. She was able to draw on it, and I took a Dremel tool, and I scuffed the surface, put them on to fit the face as closely as I possibly can. It was hard. You get headaches, you're not balanced right, you know, you second guess everything you do, can't see in the dark.
The Foundation Fighting Blindness has been extremely beneficial to me as a person with Stargardt's. I have been able to connect with people that I can relate to. I have been able to participate in different research projects or studies, and I've also made connections with different doctors that are doing research to move the progress forward.
It's important for the Foundation Fighting Blindness to have a portfolio that addresses a lot of different issues with regard to blindness. One is prevention, one is stabilization, and then the last one would be improving people's vision. And within that spectrum of improving people's vision, there's improving a little and there's improving a lot. The ultimate situation would be restoring the circuitry and the connections that were there to begin with, and doing so with healthy cells. Stem cell technology has that capacity. The retina is the light-sensitive tissue at the back of the eye and includes 2 key types of cells. Photoreceptor cells, which convert light into electrical signals that are sent through the optic nerve to the brain, as well as support cells, which provide essential nutrition and waste management functions for photoreceptors. When the photoreceptor cells or the support cells are damaged or gone, vision loss occurs. If we think about the eye like a car engine that's missing pistons, we have to find a way to make the new pistons, put them back into the engine so that it can work again. Stem cells are cells that have the potential to become any type of cell in the body and offer the potential to allow us to create a new retina to replace what's missing. Just in the past 10 years alone, we've discovered ways in which we can take a blood sample from any patient on the face of the earth and engineer those into stem cells, and then turn around and forward engineer them back into their own retinal cells. But just because we've developed these cells doesn't mean that we can get them back into the retina right now, hook them back up and get the retina working again and restore vision. Those are the steps that are now facing us that we have to overcome. For many years, my lab has played a key role in working to also develop a stem cell-derived therapy that includes both photoreceptors and support cells to restore vision. While there's still a lot of work to be done to verify and refine this process, we've made mind-blowing progress and are on the right track. The biggest challenge is to ensure these transplanted cells survive in their new environment and connect successfully to the patient's remaining retinal tissue. While there are a couple of clinical trials that are looking at part of this picture, we're not yet to the stage where we are ready to test our more complete solution in Stargardt patients like Kelly, whose condition affects both photoreceptor cells and support cells.
I've always been a positive person. I enjoy life experiences. I love learning. I was a teacher for 10 years. When I decided that I wanted to become a principal about 5 years ago, I wasn't going to let Stargardt's get in the way. My central vision is what's depleting.
So far, you know, it's been a gradual decrease where you'll have a good 3-month stretch, and then all of a sudden there's something that's drastically different, and it doesn't get better, and that's the hard part.
Visiting Dr. Gam's lab was an amazing experience. I was able to see firsthand the things that he is doing in his lab to potentially one day restore vision. I am so appreciative to the people who are funding the FFB. Without that funding, so many things would not be possible. All of the trials happening right now, all of the research would not be possible without those funds.
Foundation Fighting Blindness was, outside of the federal government, the earliest agency to get involved in my work and to show interest. And it provides substantial funds that allows you to actually complete a project, which then hopefully will be compounded by additional funding from outside agencies as well, including the federal government. They've been exceedingly successful in doing that and helping me to do that. A good barometer for all this is industry interest. The amount of interest that we've received from the private sector in terms of taking the technology that we're developing in others and commercializing it and bringing it towards clinical trials has just skyrocketed. To me, that conglomeration of academic interest as well as industry interest tells me that we're really poised to make great breakthroughs in this field. We may not only be able to help patients who are blind, but folks who have other diseases that affect neurons, such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
If my vision were restored, it would have a huge impact on me. I feel like I would be able to do the things I always loved to do, like playing softball or playing tennis. I look forward to one day being able to see my children's entire faces, being able to see things like the stars at night the same way that I used to see them would be pretty amazing.